And when we move through life like this, we're going to start to swim through life, and we're going to be more flexibly feminine, because my name is Cat Venus, and this is Aphrodite Set Free. Today, I'm going to go over 4 ways to be flexibly feminine. The first way is being in alignment with our energies. So for me, what this looks like, I'm going to give you a real life example, what I'm going through, and this will allow you to implement it in your life. So I recently started a new job, and I've been at this job for 3 days now. I've worked. These people don't know who I am, but already I am developing an identity with them. They are forming an idea about me. And although they don't know me very well, there is this first impression when we meet people, and maybe it's been 3 days, or maybe you've known them for 3 years. And although the longer, the more difficult, I do believe that it's possible to just shift in the blink of an eye. The reason this might feel harder for us is because our belief is that it's harder, and the other person's idea of us can be, we're going to have to be more vigilant about our reactions to how they treat us, because they're going to be in that habit of treating us the same way that they always have, and we've been responding for a certain way for the past 3 years. It's going to take a lot of observation and watchfulness to be able to consistently respond in a way that is in the new state that we wish to be in, until the shift is solidified for them as well in our field. Whereas with new people for 3 days, it's maybe a little easier because they haven't, it's not as solidified for them. And so although it's ultimately us, we have the power to be the ones reacting. If they are more new, they will more fluctuate with us, and it's easier to make the shift happen quicker. But that's just a belief also. I don't want to hold us in any boxes here. If you've known somebody over a decade, you can change. We can all change. And I think that to hold grace for one another and for ourselves, space to allow for such changes to take place, is such a beautiful way to live life, because it allows us to ebb and flow. And that's what this episode is about: ebb and flow, flexible femininity. And so what this looks like for me is going to be that although I have presented myself in a certain way, such as being bubbly at times and accidentally a little bit more reactive than I wanted to be, talking more than I wanted to, I want to allow myself to have boundaries and take up space and hold myself securely to preserve my energy without expending it so much. So I don't want to be bubbly all the time. So what I'm going to do is, today on my 4th day showing up to work, I'm going to allow myself more space to pause and not talk as much. I'm only going to respond if I must, because sometimes a soft smile is response enough, or a little noise. You could say, or eye contact, body language. These are all ways that we can communicate with our energy, sending thoughts. Our thoughts are powerful, and someone might be talking and we send them thoughts of agreement with them and feel agreement in our bodies, or at least acceptance of them, acceptance of what they're going through, giving them safe space and conserving our energy without verbally expressing our support, right? And so that's going to, our support, that's gonna help us hold our energy safe. And so yeah, with this being flexibly feminine, I want to say, like, this could look like us talking and laughing with our friends one moment, and then the next moment we are breathing, connecting back into our bodies, quiet and still. And that might seem odd, but to let yourself do it naturally without thinking, I need to slowly transition into this new state. No, to act in alignment, our behaviors, our actions, our words to be in alignment with our energetic state in the moment, so that we're in tune and in harmony with our bodies, which are the channels for this energy flowing through us as goddesses. And this is going to allow us to be more free, and we're not going to hold ourselves in rigidity or those around us. The second way is how we move through the world. We want to move through the world in a way that's flexible. And with this way, it's that we see beneath the surface of things. Life appears to be rigid. It appears that we wake up every day and our bed is in the same place, or we have the same assortment of mugs in our cabinet. We look the same as we did yesterday, and it doesn't seem like life's really changing. But life is, everything is actually vibrating light, vibrations. Everything is moving beneath the surface, and when we can feel the energy beneath the surface of things moving, we can feel this, we can actually understand and perceive the truth that life is very fluid. And if life is very fluid and we tap into that fluidity, on the other end of the spectrum, of course there's a balance, it's a paradox. There is rigidity and there is movement. But if we're focusing on being flexibly feminine, then we're going to focus on the part of life that's more fluid. And this goes with feeling beneath the surface of things. What this is going to look like is not trusting immediately what we're presented with in front of our faces, such as the appearance of a person, or such as the appearance of an item. You can use this while we're shopping. We can use this. You know, the shirt may look really cute, but we're going to feel, what is the energy beneath the shirt feel like? How do I feel when I touch it, when I put it on? How does it feel to talk to this person? What does my body feel like right now? I'm going to stop talking so I can listen to my body and try and see, what is my body, the energy saying as I talk to this person? Do I feel safe? Do I feel nervous? What is my body say when I talk in this way? Do I feel nervous? Maybe that's showing that I'm out of alignment with my authenticity. I'm not talking in a manner that is in flow with my natural state in the moment. Maybe I'm putting on a bit of a mask or a bit of a show. This part of me is blocking in this channel. Part of me is blocking the flow of the universe. The energy is going through me, perhaps. So let's look at the energy also of the environment. When we step into a room, we can look at our internal state as our bodies are brilliant compasses to use as guidance systems. We can also turn it outwards and perceive, try to feel it out. Use the antennas, stretch out, imagine your fingers becoming really long and the energy flowing out like you've really long extended fingers, and feel the room. What does the environment feel like? Does it feel safe? Do I feel relaxed? Do I feel relaxed? Does it feel relaxing? As above, so below. We want to ultimately look within ourselves, because this is going to be the truest compass, and everything is going to be a mirror reflecting outward of our inner state. Our perception ultimately is going to create our realities, but we can also extend our light bodies outwards and connect with the things around us that might seem like they are rigid. They're structural things, this person, this place, this thing, but to feel beneath the surface. And when we move through life like this, we're going to start to swim through life, and we're going to be more flexibly feminine, because energy is moving and it's malleable. And so I'm hoping that this makes sense. I want to give another example. For example, right now, I can tap in and feel like I was starting to talk kind of fast and go a bit more on autopilot instead of being lucid with you guys. I want to remain in a lucid state while I'm talking. Tapping in, tuning in to the subtleties beneath the surface. This could look like if somebody is talking to you and they say something to you, to feel beneath their words. This will allow us to be more discerning and move with life in a non-resistant way that flows towards success. What's the energy of the smell that you put on, the perfume? Is it a toxic energy, or is it healthy? It could look like I've started this movie or this TV show. Maybe you're 20, 30 minutes in, 2 seasons in. If you feel energy is not lining up with you, we don't have to stay committed and force ourselves to suffer and be out of alignment, out of harmony. Our bodies are talking to us. maybe we're doing a task at hand and we had planned to do 3 tasks. We've started the first one, and halfway through we think, I actually want to get started on the second one, and come back to the first. It might not make any logical sense, but our bodies hold ancient wisdom, and they can detect things that we cannot foresee. So when we listen to the energy, this is going to allow for a more flexible life. And this flexible life is going to lead to more success. It's more freeing. It's more feminine. And it's more fun. It could also look like, say you have something that, let's say that I have something that I need to get done, and it's a computer technical task. Let's say I've started in on it 2 minutes, 5 minutes, and I can start to see this is going to go nowhere. I'm going to stop before I'm going to quit while I'm ahead and allow myself to be flexible and move on, and maybe I'll do something else and come back to it with a clear head or a different perspective. You never know. Sometimes the subconscious needs to marinate on some things, and ideas, solutions will arise as we're doing something else. So this is part of that trusting the intuition, because we just don't understand or know. Even if it doesn't make sense, it's not efficient, right? It's not efficient. It actually will be more efficient because it's going to be more harmonious, and it's going to be working with this kaleidoscope of life that we're in. So those are just some examples. The stuff we put, like the stuff our products that we use, our hair that day. Does the energy of my hair feel like it wants protection, extra protection? Do I want to put it in braids? Does it want me to put it in braids, my hair? I'm about to pet this creature, cat or dog. My cat or dog even, how I always pet at this time. But let me slow down and feel it out. Does she want to be pet? Does she want to be pet in that way? Normally I put the food together like this, but today I'm gonna do it the opposite. I'm gonna use a different plate. I'm gonna take a different way home. I'm gonna stop at this store. I was planning on shopping all day. I'm at the mall and I feel like I want to go home early. I don't know why, I just want to leave right now. I'm gonna listen to that. I'm gonna respect enough to be a part of the flow, surrender to it. The third thing I want to talk about, the third thing that I want to go over relates to the first thing, which goes with ebb and flow, allowing ourselves freedom to change. This is using remembrance for rebirth. To take this further, to clarify, what I mean with this is that much of the time we are not in a lucid state of awareness. We fall into autopilot and that's okay. We remind ourselves to come back more and more. We're gonna spiral out of this. We're gonna spiral out of these loops, and we are going to escalate at an exponential rate and become awake and aware beings. For now, at this stage, where we are, where I am at least, is that I'll fall back into autopilot, and I think that to be flexibly feminine is to remember, notice without judgment where that we did, and every time we remember to be lucid, to use it as an opportunity for rebirth, and to kind of give yourself a miniature baptism. Feel the fire, baptism through fire. Feel it rise up through your chakras. Use your breath, our breath, and cleanse in and out, a little rebirth, a mini rebirth, to allow ourselves this flexibility of transformation. Any moment we remember is an opportunity that we can switch into a new timeline, and we don't need to take any of this past baggage or identifications that we have, habits that we've thought that we have, and we are allowing ourselves, because we get to allow ourselves to do this. We do it ourselves, for others, because our transformation allows their transformation. We are all connected. And so let's focus inside though, because that will be mirrored outwards, and this is what we do have power over. And so we can, I love the idea of whenever I do notice and remember to be lucid, to breathe, to be present as a moment of sacred rebirth, and to say, I get to be whoever I want to be in this moment. And so do you. We do. We get to do this for ourselves, you guys. Let's say it to ourselves. Let's take a breath in and out, and say it with me in your heads or out loud if you want. And let's say it. I get to choose who I want to be right now. Maybe I'm bubbly normally. Maybe I'm quiet normally. Maybe I was angry a minute ago. Maybe I had this or that. I get to choose whoever I want to be. I was the girl with low self-esteem. All of a sudden, I've got confidence right now. I'm choosing to be the girl with confidence. I was the girl that was flustered from traffic. I am all of a sudden the girl who is collected and calm. And for the fourth way is to approach life in non-judgment, to replace that judgment with curiosity, to allow curiosity to open the gates of potential that lies before us, seen and unseen, and something happens to approach it with, maybe this is good, maybe this is bad, maybe I don't know. And we don't know where things are going to lead us. So, for example, I'm making a video right now, and maybe I make this whole video and the sound doesn't work. I have to make a new one. Maybe I have to go to work and I'll have to make that new one later. Maybe that's a good thing. Maybe that's a bad thing. I don't know. I am going to choose to trust, though, because I know that my energy is more powerful than my actions even. And when I get to choose how I feel and use my energy to trust, this is going to vibrate in a way that solutions and trust, things working out for us, will be in harmony and attracted, magnetized to that type of vibration because it's in alignment with it. So you'll be in a channeling state for those energies. A trusting state is a channeling state for things working out. We're going to build trust with life, and we're going to build trust with ourselves, because we're going to recognize, hey, I'm not abandoning myself. I'm not bullying myself with fear or abandoning my body. I'm going to remain rooted in my body. I'm going to trust myself that I'm going to figure it out. I've got my back, and I believe. So starting with little things with this, I think, is a good way for us to practice, building this self-trust vibration. We don't have to go overboard all at once. We are allowed to take baby steps with building self-trust. We're allowed to go slow. We're allowed to practice it with little things. And non-judgment with how our non-judgment practice goes. Those are the 4 ways to be flexibly feminine. I hope that you guys have enjoyed. Thank you so much for joining. I'm sending you guys so much love. This has been Aphrodite Set Free, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.